get some money, delivering some packages. But it's gonna take me about 20 minutes to get to my destination, so I figure I'll wrap with y'all real quick. Been seeing the recurring theme I've been posting. This is how I operate, man. I won't write a joke or idea for a few days, and then all of a sudden something will spark my interest, and then I'll milk it until the interest is gone, you know. But you know, with the whole Jay-Z and taking a deal with the NFL and people feeling like Kaepernick is slighted and all that. That's not my issue. I don't really get into any of that. Jay-Z making a deal with the NFL affects my life in no way, shape, form, or fashion. So I really couldn't care less. And Cap took a deal. You know, but I really don't even have an opinion. And I'm a 49ers fan, and I saw the decline of his play right before he started pulling the stunt, and I was one of the protest, and I was one of the first people to say that he probably doing this to give himself security to have a job, you know, because he wasn't popping on the field when he was going to Super Bowls and NFC championships, and when he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you know, dude wasn't pro-black, you know. I always say it's easy to take a knee when you're sitting on the bench because you don't got that far to go. But it's not even about that. I just hate when people make disingenuous comparisons, man. That shit is it's mad disrespectful, yo. You know? And it's some shit as a community, black people or anybody that's doing this bullshit. Y'all need to stop that shit, man. To compare transatlantic slavery, to compare the NFL to To compare the NFL to transatlantic slavery is highly disingenuous, yo. It's highly, it's very disrespectful to our ancestors that actually went through that shit, man. You know, if they could see from beyond the grave and see these bullshit comparisons that people are doing just to kind of like push their agendas, they shaking their head like, what the fuck? I wish I would have got a multi-million-dollar contract for being a slave. You know, I wish being a slave for a couple of years put me in a position to be set in a positive way for the rest of my life. You know, I wish. And the thing is, I can't really read what you're saying, Lindsay, but I get a gist of what you're saying. Dude, we sacrifice our bodies and our minds for every single thing that we do. You always going to have to sacrifice your body and yourself and your abilities for something. You leverage your body every single day when you get up to work, even if you go to work for yourself. Huh? No, I don't. No, what I'm saying is the ancestor that was a slave is looking at the motherfucker trying to compare the NFL to slavery, and they would be like, this ain't nothing, because like, for one, you choose to go to the NFL, you choose to work out, and then you choose to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then you get handsomely rewarded. Even the broke NFL player is rich, getting a few $100,000. You ain't getting shit for fucking being a slave. You getting a piece of cornbread. You getting beat every single day for dumbass shit. In the NFL, you choose to get the beating by getting on the field and do what you got to. It's a shitty ass comparison, and it's disrespectful to ancestors, man. And honestly, when I hear that comparison, that shit is offensive, yo. It's fucking bullshit. There's so many other things that we as a people, like, we're supposed to be intelligent and creative. We need better comparisons. But motherfuckers only compare that shit to try to guilt people out of watching it, man. It ain't nothing like slavery. You know what I mean? People need to stop doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Work is like, you want to compare something more, you know what's more comparable to slavery? Fucking jury duty, or the draft, not the NFL draft, like the Army draft, because they force you to do that shit. And if you don't, there are consequences. You was forced to be a slave, and if you didn't do it, there was consequences. You're not forced to join the NFL. And mad motherfuckers is beating the door down trying to get into the NFL. How many slaves you know was trying to, like, damn, I hope I can get on that boat so I can get across in the ocean and work hard for nothing Come on now. It's a dumbass comparison. And then people was like, yo, when you look at the combine looked just like slave auction blocks. Now, on the surface, you look at it, they're showing big, strong, I can't talk. They're auctioning them off to the highest bidder. Yeah, on the surface, that's what it looks like. But it's still a fucked up comparison. That's like comparing Sunday dinner to cannibalism. You know what Sunday dinner and cannibalism have in common? Both involve a group of people eating. But you would never compare Sunday dinner to cannibalism. Why? Because that shit ain't the fucking same. You could pretty much compare anything to anything if you twist it and give it your like own perverted interpretation. People need to stop doing that shit, man. Because the problem with it is when you compare like the NFL to transatlantic slavery, what it does is it takes away the sting from what slavery actually was. Like I said in one of my posts, you think white people is in Africa right now, tying up Africans, throwing them in a boat, then bringing them to America, then throwing a fucking helmet on them with $1 million contract? Hell fucking no. It's not even remotely close. And whoever does that shit is a fucking idiot, man. To compare those two things, you don't respect your ancestors if you say that stupid shit, yo. And I'm not for watching the NFL. Honestly, I couldn't care less, man. You know what I'm saying? I do fantasy football. I watch my teams, whatever. You know what I mean? Colin taking a knee brought awareness to police brutality. Yes, it did, and it created a conversation, and it has people talking. But that wasn't the NFL's fault. You know what I'm saying? And not every team needed the motherfucker, right? And he got some opportunity. He turned them shits down. So how the fuck you gonna fault the whole NFL for what a few teams like denied him from? You know what I'm saying? That's like getting dissed by one bitch. So now you think all bitches is whack and you become gay and shit. Like, you ain't gonna become gay just because one bitch ditched one bit. I can't even talk right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. You're not gonna become gay just because one chick dissed you. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna become racist just because one person did something bad against you, man. So the whole like boycotting the entire NFL just because of what a couple of teams did to this dude, when a couple of teams got given the opportunities, it's fucking bullshit. But that discussion isn't really related to what I'm talking about right now. You know? People just, they saw the video a couple of years ago, I am blacking out the NFL. And there was a whole bunch of dumb sounding black dudes talking about, we're not going to watch the NFL and support it because the NFL is racist until they give Kaepernick a job. Oh, so if they give Kaepernick a job again, that means they're not racist? Like, shut up, yo. Mostly all organizations are run by billionaire white men who just old and set in their ways. That's the reality of the world. Motherfuckers gonna be racist as long as they ain't killing you, whatever. You can't change how somebody think, man. Like, fuck it is what it is. But that topic is still not related to what I'm talking to right now, so we're gonna get back on track. My people, man, stop comparing NFL to slavery. Please stop doing that shit, man. Please stop. Nobody's kidnapping you. Nobody's snatching you out your bed and making you. Nobody is snatching you out your bed and make you get on the field and be a running back or a quarterback or a wide receiver or an offensive lineman. Nobody's doing that shit. Nobody has a dream of being a slave one day, like a little kid. What you want to be when you grow up, man? I want to be a slave when I grow up. Like, nobody's fucking wanting to be a slave. Like, what you gonna have? Like, you the all-time leader in getting whipped? You the all-time leader in picking cotton, motherfucker? Nobody's striving to do that shit. Slavery is not something that anybody strives to do, but the NFL is something that many people strive to do. That alone eliminates the comparison and all the brutality against their will that so many of our ancestors went through. For you fucking assholes to compare that shit to the NFL just to make people feel guilty about watching the NFL. You're using that harsh ass situation to make other people feel guilty to push your agenda. That's fucking bullshit. That's the equivalent of like when gay people go through some shit or they go through some type of discrimination for being gay and then they try to compare it to people that's going through discrimination for being black. Don't compare different situations like that. That shit ain't cool, man. That's not cool. Each individual situation is its own entity. You know what I mean? Each situation has its own entity. Don't disrespect one situation by comparing it to the other, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Jews comparing like one person getting murdered or getting hurt to get to the Holocaust. The Holocaust is its own thing, unless you compare it to something of equal or greater value. That's when you could. That's when you compare things. Comparing the NFL to fucking slavery, it's like comparing like being being asleep in bed to being in a coffin, man. That shit is not fair, and that shit is not right. Y'all niggas need to stop doing that shit. That shit is not cool, man. I didn't have to read, what books do I have to read to come to the conclusion that slavery and the NFL is a poor comparison? You don't have to read no books to determine that. Well, you don't got to read no books to determine that. Just look at slavery and look at the NFL. Who was trying to be a slave, y'all? Who was like willfully trying to be a motherfucking cotton-picking, back-whipped slave against their will? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when I grow up, I want somebody to snatch me out of my house and just throw me in the field and make me pick cotton. Who? How many people want to be football players, like a star wide receiver or a star running back or a star quarterback, and be a star? How many people want millions of dollars for the efforts that they do? It's a poor comparison. You don't have to read a book to have logic, man. You don't have to. Yes, both involve pain. Now, yes, you go through pain with some of them. You know what I'm saying? Yes, both of them involve pain. Yes, you can die from either one. But one is a straight up blatant, this is what I want to do. Now Kanye argued that slavery was a choice, but he was talking about present day slavery. But even back then, even like, you know, with the movie Black Panther, he was like, you know, throw me over the, you know, I want you to kill me like my ancestors that chose to jump off the ships because choosing death is better than choosing bondage. So I get that. But like if you're a little kid or something like that, you're getting kidnapped, you don't know what the fuck is going on. You're just getting kidnapped. That child didn't have a choice. So, you know, a child can't choose death. So that's unfair to the child. You know what I'm saying? But you can argue both involve a choice because you can choose death, but like I said, little kids and little children, they don't know what's going on. They just getting snatched up and shit. The elderly and shit, they just getting snatched up. They can't even fight and defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? Women getting chained up and shit or knocked over the head when they still asleep. That's not no fucking choice, man. You know what I'm saying? In the NFL, you literally train. You watch Jerry Rice or Tom Brady do his thing, and you train to get to that level so you can get those millions, man. And I think the average career span for a football player is about 3 to 5 years. So after that 3 to 5 years, if you invest your money right and don't blow that shit like Antoine Walker did in the NBA, you can flip that shit and not have to work for the rest of your life. You suffer for a few years, then you'll never have to work. But that's capitalism. That's just working in the world in general. You got to suffer for a little bit before you can enjoy the spoils of your work. But like even in slavery, like we suffered for 400 years. Now it should like a little bit better. It should be way better. Fuck yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I can see that comparison going through some bullshit to come out better on the other side. But to still compare like the NFL to fucking transatlantic slavery, it's bullshit, yo. It's bullshit. Stop following this cliche nonsense that we see fake ass pro-black people say online. You want to fall in line and sound cool listening to bullshit like to the bullshit that Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, prostitution is probably a better analogy, but even in prostitution, some women recognize that they vagina is a cash register, and they go out and sell it. Now, if you say if you say like the forced sex trafficking, then that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like sex trafficking, like people that are forced into it, then that's a little different. But like chicks that want to just webcam and work for Brazzers and Bang Brothers and Reality Kings and shit, these bitches made a conscious decision, man. They was like, yo, my pussy get me $1,000 a while. You know what I mean? All I gotta do is lay on my back and do some shit that I was biologically designed to do. Mate. You know what I mean? So, but I made my destination. That's all I had to say. Like Will with the troll comment talking about what book did I read to come to this conclusion. I watch football and I'm a college graduate. I read plenty of shit. How about that? I read plenty of books. But regardless of that, you don't have to read a book to come to a logical conclusion of some shit that's right in your face. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody that reads a book is fucking successful. My sister's father barely knew how to read, and that dude was highly successful. Rest in peace. So that don't mean shit. Some of our greatest leaders throughout history didn't know how to read, and they was fucking and they were very influential than any of us motherfuckers who never who read thousands of books could ever be. So you reading something doesn't have to be the thing that shapes your idea or your mindset on some shit. So, well, get the fuck out of here with that troll comment. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you be on point, but you trolling right there. You drinking that Tariq Nasheed Kool-Aid too much, man. But that's all I had to say. I will holler at y'all. Hashtag everybody need more green. Peace.